Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will learn about pharmacovigilance cycle, whole cycle, like how drugs are used to treat, and if there is some side effect, how they are get recognized, then reported and analyzed, and ultimately that information is used to prevent further side effects, right? So we can start with the step one is that let's assume there is a person A, say Lisa is the person, and she is suffering from a diabetes, right? And her doctor recognized that her current medication stopped working, it's not showing effects, so she's been prescribed with the new drug. So these new drugs, whenever we take, it is impossible to avoid all the risk, right? There are always risks associated with them. But first of all, the drugs used, first use of drug is for a treatment. But in pharmacovigilance, we try to create a positive balance, which is so benefit should be more than risk. So that's how pharmacovigilance help in ensuring safety. So now step one is treatment, that is a new drug is prescribed. Right now the patient who was taking this new drug recognized there is an abdominal pain, right? Or maybe her skin is getting pale, and she comes to doctor and telling that the moment I started taking this drug, I'm experiencing these side effects, you can say, or unwanted experience. So doctor sent her for maybe a blood test, or they try to identify what is wrong. So let's assume they identified as a hepatitis as a one of the side effect, right? When they identified, this is number 2 is recognition, identification. The step third is report. Now anyone can report, doctor can also report, patient can also report to the national pharmacovigilance system of that particular country. The report will go to the regulatory authority. Always remember, the report will go to the regulatory authorities. So here let's assume in Lisa's case, doctor report the hepatitis as side effect to the regulatory authorities. Now just assume where this information will go. This will go to the national database, right? It's like if it is in India, it will go into our national data. If it is in some other country, it will go to their national database. Now all the most of the national database, they are connected with WHO VGPs. So if suppose in India in a different states, like in a different states altogether, like these type of hepatitis case 10 are reported, right? So just assume those all these cases will get gathered in this national database. Similarly, from other countries, this information also being reported. So that will ultimately, that information will get pooled into VGBase globally, right? Now we have a handful of information, right? So the next step is to analyze. Now we are getting lot of information in terms of side effect in the national database or international database. Now there should be someone who should identify and assess the causality. We have learned about the causality in our last session, that how you can determine if the side effect is because of medication or not. So that causal relationship is established. Is there any relationship between medicine and a side effect, right? So that is analyzed. Now if it is established, like okay, these hepatitis cases are because of new drug, this is a side effect, right? And when they analyze, they will also look into IB or SMPC, like is it already been is there any information already there on this particular side effect or not. So the next step will be act. So we analyze the information. Now the regulatory authorities has to act. Now this action can be different, like it can be a safety alert. Okay, this drug also having this additional side effect, so be cautious that side effect will be added to the SMPC. And then another can be the labeling update is needed, right? Like maybe to this age group do not prescribe this drug like X and Y, right? Or here in this case that for X drug hepatitis is also the side effect, right? And if it is very serious side effect or a major, it is life threatening, the one is the serious life threatening or maybe turning to a death, so the drug can also be recalled from the market. So the regulatory act like this. Now the seventh step will be, after this act, this information will be communicated to patient and healthcare provider, so that when they prescribing this drug, they can consider this information. Like here in Lisa's case, this information will be shared with her, like, okay, this is the side effect of this drug, now we have to change your treatment. And similarly, this information will be shared with other healthcare provider, so you have to communicate this information. Ultimately this is going to prevent further side effect, because now this is identified and it has been communicated, so this will help to prevent further side effect and ultimately ensuring the safety. So almost 5% hospital admissions every year are because of the side effect, and more than half are preventable as per the healthcare experts. So this is how a pharmacovigilance cycle works. Like drugs are used to treat, then if there is a side effect, you recognize, then it is reported, the information is pulled to national database and finally analyzed. Based on this analysis, the experts, regulatory expert, take action, maybe safety alert, labeling update, or a recall, withdrawal. Then this information is communicated to patient, healthcare providers, and ultimately it helps to prevent further side effect. Means we are able to create a positive balance. So I hope this is this information is helpful. It have helped you to understand how safety is ensured in a clinical trials. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Turn on the notifications and do subscribe Rise and Shine channel for getting such valuable contents.